Yeah, what's this little number, Gary? Nice, isn't it?
Fantastic, mate.
Guess where I bought that from?
Vinted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought you tried to trick me up then. But
No. I'm so fucking predictable. It's either going to be from the Spa or Vinted. Or actually, TK Maxx was my, I suppose, original like love, but now Vinted's just taken over. Really.
I hate Vinted. I went to the post office the other day. I had to urgently get something special delivery. The lady in front of me had she must have had 20 parcels.
Was it Charlotte? Because she's
man.
she's my parcel deliverer.
It probably could have been good, to be fair.
They need their own separate Vinted checkout at the post office now.
I think
someone sent me a message on Instagram the other day. Are you blah 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 on Vinted?
And were you?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Buying your old boxer shorts.
You weren't trying to sell that picture of me and you on there, were you? Brilliant.
Because I forget it has your name and address on it. Does it has
of
the
course,
label?
Yeah.
So they obviously knew it was me, but I just ignored the message.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think shops must get some sort of commission back off it if they do. Surely, because why would they do it otherwise? It's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
I think it's the old like why is there lottery tickets in the petrol station there? It's like because hopefully you're going to grab something as well, isn't it?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Out of 100 people
Like
that go
a
in to
lost
do the
leader.
post office, they'll buy a chocolate bar or pick something up, so it's getting footfall into the post office or whatever. Yeah, so there's usually we take ours to the one in that Clyde Poith up the road is it's a what do you call it?
The Spa or the Co-op?
Where they give medicine out and stuff.
The pharmacy.
chemist.
Pharmacy, fucking hell.
Starting to get old, Gary.
What time is it?
What time do we need to get him back to the hospice?
I need to go to a pharmacy. It's a pharmacy and there's a post office, so so like if you're dropping stuff off, it'd be like, have a few rennies or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Pack a Sudafed to go with you.
Yeah. No, I like Vinted, but I rarely buy stuff off it.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I'm buying all sorts of shit. Yeah, shit I don't need.
You
If I'm
seem to
bored,
get good stuff off it. When I look, my Vinted algorithm is not good, mate.
I'm pretty good. I'm on it a lot though. So, if you just get a spare 5 minutes, I'll just go and have a look. I bought another watch that I don't need the other day as well. I just buy all sorts of
thought it
shit.
was just clothes.
Oh mate, there's all sorts on there.
Anything.
Yeah, I'm
Is
terrible.
it? Oh, is it like eBay now then?
Oh, it's better than eBay. Yeah, it's amazing.
Electronics and stuff, yeah.
Honestly, check it out. You can buy anything on there. Honestly,
I just thought it was
anything.
clothes.
Yeah, bought my Starlink on there. Buy anything. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
say anything. Most things. Before we start, I've got a friend who's doing this Unreal challenge, and I'm going to give her a shout out because she listens to the podcast every week, and she'll be listening to this while she's running as well, because she's basically running 100 marathons in 100 days on the old inland customs line in India. And she's part Indian as well. So there's like a bit of a kind of connection there with her family, like history, kind of going back to, I think it might be her mum's roots. Yeah, it's point to point. It's like, it's like, I think it might be a circular, I'm not sure, I should know that, shouldn't I? I should know that. Sports Shoes are sponsoring her, along with other sponsors as well, but she is raising money. In fact, I think she's trying to make £1 million to like put back into the planet, basically, because she works for a company where they do like a lot of kind of research into carbon offsetting and that kind of thing. So she's in that kind of industry. That's how I know her as well. She's a friend of a friend.
Give her name,
but she's really nice. Yeah, so it's Hannah Cox. Yeah, so Hannah, I was getting there. I promise. So Hannah, just want to say massive well done for everything you've done so far.
One. That sounds like at least one you can get behind, and that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, and do you know what?
She's not a Z-list celebrity.
No, she's really nice. No, you'd really like her. She's really nice, and she's got a small team with her who are supporting. And it's called Project Salt. So if you're on Instagram, just search for @ProjectSaltRun. She's got a small team with her, and a girl called Natalie is doing all the content, and it's really good. And like I've sponsored through Sports Shoes like some of these challenges before, and I've often found that when people get out and do them, like running across different countries, they're that busy running, they can't produce the content or get anything out. And they're doing like reels every day, and I'm finding it really interesting watching. So I think even if you don't support her, but please do try and support her, just give some money. She's trying to raise £1 million. Even if you don't, look at the content and maybe share it as well. So just to get it out there, because what she's doing is wonderful.
And it's good for Ben's optics.
But genuinely, I genuinely wanted to do it, honestly. No, there's no incentive other than to support her.
Sorry, what was her name?
So it's Hannah Cox, and it's at Project Salt Run. So yeah, I just thought I'd give her a mention. And Hannah, I know you'll be listening to this while you're running, so there's your little nod from us. Keep up the fantastic work. And
First
Natalie,
to run the old inland customs line.
That's the
raising
one.
1 million for people and planet.
Yeah. Let's give her a little push. So yeah, share away, donate. Hannah, keep it going. Well done.
Hopefully she's still going then, because not to ruin the illusion, but we're a few weeks off maybe this appearing for people.
Yeah, she might have been done by then. In fact, she might have done 100 marathons. Yeah, I mean, she should be. She started last week, so I think at the moment we're on like day 6. But I mean, this isn't going to go out for another 28 days potentially.
3 or 4 weeks. We got a few lined up, haven't we?
So she'll be well in. She'll be absolutely knackered. So she'll probably need some motivation. At that point.
I'd love to see.
She's just doing it on gels as well. No, I'm only joking. She's not.
Poles?
Yeah, poles. She's a poles, and she's getting towed by a dog as well. Canicross style. Yeah.
India is one of those countries I'd love to.
Yeah, I'm going to do the intro. Welcome to the RUNcensored podcast with me, Ben Mounsey, Gary House, and Chris actually as well. I'm Chris Davis, because Chris is going to be reading out the questions for this long-awaited episode of ChatGPT. We've not done one for ages, have we?
It's been a while. We've had a lot of guests, haven't we? We've been lining them up.
We've been busy. But what we've actually done this time, and we've actually used ChatGPT to create the questions for.
Ben, we've used ChatGPT.
Oh shit! Is it ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I just said
We've
ChatGPT.
been even more lazy.
Yeah, sorry. We've used the proper one, ChatGPT, to get the questions for ChatGPT. Yeah. There we go. I got it right.
We basically said to it, about our last 50 episodes by the time this goes out? Give us some questions about what we've been talking about. So here we go.
Okay.
Holly Wooten's Dragonback story was all about mental resilience over 6 brutal days. What's the hardest mental barrier you've ever had to push through in a race?
Do you want to go first, Gary?
Thanks.
Throw him under the bus.
You've already heard these questions.
I don't mind going first if you want.
Yeah, I'll give you a proper answer, because I've used this in talks before, and it might sound like an egotistical thing, but it's not, honestly. The biggest mental barrier was I used to do these 24-hour races, specifically the Equinox, it's called, Trail 10K, looped, and the very first time I did it, I was leading the race for about 18 hours out of the 24, and I ended up finishing second, and on pretty much the last lap, or maybe even the second to last lap. So I'd covered, I think, 21 laps, so 210k, finished second. And I was, at the time, I remember when, the second guy at the time, Mark, was catching me. And you're getting this information for an hour, then 2 hours, then 6 hours. And about 2 hours before the finish, he finally passed me. And the amount of relief that left my body was amazing, yeah. And the fact that I finished second, like I told myself I had a bad knee and all sorts. That's why I was slowing down. And then,
do you have my list of excuses?
And I was younger then. So I was, telling myself all sorts. Finished second. And everyone was happy that, well, it was only me and Charlotte, but I was like, bloody hell, I finished second in that big 24-hour event. A week went past and a month went past, and in my own head, I knew that I could have won that race, yeah, and I knew that mentally I'd almost given in, and I didn't want the pressure of leading it into the last couple of hours, and I was slowly coming to terms with that fact, I think, yeah. On the outside, everyone thought it was amazing that I'd finished second, but internally, I was battling with the fact that I'd fucking thrown that race away, yeah?
Yeah.
So I went back the following year, and I didn't start off as well as I did the previous year, and I was in like 4th or 5th or something, only about 8 hours in, and then, I don't know if I've told this story before, but anyway, I went past the start-finish line, and I went into a a cubicle, a toilet. Portaloo, thanks, Chris. Got into a
only because I've
portaloo.
heard the story before.
Yeah, fully expecting to quit. Yeah, so I ran past Charlotte as I've done in the past. I was going to go and then walk back and say, something's happened, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, got in the cubicle, warmed up for 10, 15 minutes, and I turned right instead of left. Right was to finish the lap. And then when I finished that lap, I realised the second half of that lap, so the second 5K, was the fastest 5K that I'd ran without trying. So I said, I'll do another lap. Anyway, I ended up, I won it that time. So I'd gone from 6th or 5th to finishing and got a course record and won the race. And it was like, and I always think back mentally, it's not actually the hardest thing necessarily, but it was, I would turn back to, for months, I was kicking myself, months and months and months. And I nearly did the same thing until I switched the answer. And then it links, I guess, into that podcast we had with Nigel.
Chimp Paradox.
Then I met Nigel. And although I'd done it, he had an explanation in terms of the chimp paradox thing and what chemical reactions was going on in the brain and all sorts. So yeah, I guess it wasn't necessarily the hardest thing, but that's the hardest amount of time I've had to wait and to put something right, I guess.
I know what you mean about if you have a performance that you're not happy with and you play it over and over in your mind, don't you? I replay races all the time. Like,
and you can't do anything about it.
It's
really
awful. And especially like the night after the race or the days after the race, it's when it's most raw and real. But I suppose it gives you that motivation to go back then, doesn't it? And like do something a bit more special the next time.
Go on, your turn.
Well, I've obviously got more than one.
Does it involve a cow?
Yeah. Well, the cow goes out saying. And all the times where I've run with hangovers and it's been horrendous.
Yeah, exactly.
But aside from that, I think probably it's happened a few times. This ongoing issue I've got with the heels ripping. I'm not joking, the pain, and people who've done this will know that if you are midway through a race and your heels like literally fall off and you are like, I'm talking like deep kind of, kind of rip, like imagine a massive blister, huge kind of, it's like the size of a compede, for example, on the back of your heels and you're a heel striker coming downhill, it's horrendous. So I remember the first time it happened, I was running in the Trey Refugee relay for like the British team, and it happened halfway on the descent and I had to finish because I was part of a relay team, and I'm not joking, the last 2 miles on the road were it was pure agony. Like you've just got to push through it and you know it's happened and you know you're making it worse and you know that you're not going to be able to walk for 2 weeks, but if it had been like a race individually, you just sack it off and you just sit at the side of the road and cry. But because it was a relay, I was like, I've got to finish. So you just got to push through. But then that was like the worst kind of, I suppose, race situation where I've had to keep going. But then not a race, but me and Kirsty were in Mallorca once and we'd planned this like cool route. This is number 2 story, by the way. Sorry, just to make it clear that it's not the same thing. And I planned it in Komoot, which actually for me is like pretty organised. Normally I just go out and get lost. But we'd got to the top of this like amazing peak, everything going really well, and we'd come along this ridge, still going really well, and then we were like descending back into Soyer, and we'd been out like I'd say for 2.5, 3 hours. It was baking hot, like proper hot, and I'd pretty much done like all my fluids as well. But I only had like not that long to go because we were coming down off this descent, but we had to go through this farmer's land, and there's a route through it, but in Mallorca, like, they make their own rules up out there. And this farmer basically stopped us from going across his land, but that was the only way down. So I had 2 choices. It was either do everything we'd done in reverse, which was like 3 hours, or try and find a different way down, which was the most appealing at the time. But I'm not joking, we were going through some like ridiculous like terrain. We were having to climb over gates and on private property. And long story short, we ended up in a situation where I thought I was going to like die because I was that thirsty and that hungry. I wasn't going to die, but I felt like I was. And we found this like house that I'm guessing there was nobody inside. It was empty. I couldn't get in it, but we were like messing around outside looking for a tap outside, and we managed to find this tap and open it up and then basically fill our bottles with water. And I probably would have still been there. I'd probably just be a carcass now if I hadn't found that. And then we got into Soyer, and it's the only time where I've walked into a bar and ordered a Coke, a water, a beer all at the same time and just smashed them. So yeah, I thought I was going to die because obviously we got caught out there, and then the blisters was just pure pain.
Yeah.
I've started listening back to some of the previous podcasts because I'm that sad. But when I'm editing, I'm really not paying attention to what you guys are talking about. And I listened to the Andy Berry one about his Bob going around. And the one thing that stuck with me, particularly around mental resilience, was his thing that he says, how would Monday's Andy think about what I'm about to do now?
Yeah,
and I thought that was a good way of dealing with mental resilience.
He's got a strong mindset, Andy. Yeah, very strong.
All right then. Tom Evans' nutrition and Paul's research on fueling were eye-opening. They certainly were. We got a lot of feedback on that. What's one nutrition myth you've ditched since those conversations?
I mean, for me, somebody who I've never really read up or researched nutrition in races enough, and I'm doing like short races, so I can survive on like a gel in a race because I'm not having to go, like, do what Gary's doing and run through the night, for example, or like for a long time. But I think for me, like, just understanding that you can fuel yourself for 24 hours on just potentially fluids and gels, like, still blows my mind. But I've learned that is the thing now if you're competing at that top level, and that's changed the myth of having to eat solid food, for example, which, I still find mind-blowing. And I still feel like going 24 hours without a proper meal is like robbing myself of, like, I'm probably not going to do it. But you know what I mean? The thought of like missing a meal actually scares me. But the fact that you're just surviving on gels and fluids is mind blowing. But I understand it now. So I feel like I've really learned something, and probably like most people on the podcast who don't give the nutritional aspect of your kind of performance and training regime enough credit, really, and enough, I suppose, time on that. So that's probably my big learning.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ditched anything.
No, I'm not going to ditch the pies, by the way.
No. In terms of myths, it was all, I mean, it sounds, a lot of it is common sense to a certain degree. What did give me more confidence in, though, is like, in almost what I'm saying to a certain level is it's not far from what Paul's thinking. It's almost like, you are looking to maximise someone's carb intake, really, for want of a better word, but also there will be times when you don't have to be smashing 100 grams of carbs an hour, like, which just seems to be the common thread in everyone's thinking. And I can be guilty of it sometimes, because if I say to someone we should be having more carbohydrate or we need to increase the amount of gels that you're taking, then the assumption is, okay, well, I need to jump from 40 to 100 to 120, and it's not that at all. It's like I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was when you almost like, if think of it a bit more like cycling, if you're coming to a climb that you're gonna need more energy output on at a faster rate, then you're gonna have to fuel yourself a bit more for that climb, but you might be able to chill out for the next hour. So if you're gonna be out for a race for 12 hours, and again, I've been guilty of this, it's like, well, just try and hit a constant number per hour every hour. Maybe it's not that. Maybe if you know you're going up 1,000 meter, 2,000 meter climb, and it's going to take you an hour, 2 hours or whatever, that's going to be a concentrated part of your race where we're going to really work to maximise your carb intake.
It's that traffic light system we talked about, isn't it?
Yeah. That
was a big learning.
That would
definitely
be a good one for me, and everyone can apply that. And it's one of those things. It makes it easier for people to, it's like
to understand.
Yeah, I think so.
Ben, you've been vocal about club culture and the Calderdale Way relay. What can road or trail runners learn from traditional club running communities?
I mean, I'm a member of a fell running club and a road/trail club, and now an orienteering club. And I think I'm just basically joining clubs left, right, and centre. Anyone will have me, to be honest. Yeah. I tell you what I really like, though, is just that, like, I do like that community aspect, and I'm in a million WhatsApp groups, like I'm sure you two both are as well. But the Pendle Forest one and the Calder Valley one in particular, that's the Pendle Forest is the orienteering one, and the Calder Valley fell running one, they're really funny. Like, I just like being in groups where we can talk about just random shit and also like serious running. But I really feel like everybody who is into those sports, trail running, fell running, orienteering, are just really helpful as well. Like the fact that if you don't know something, or like with orienteering being a new thing for me, I made so many mistakes and I'm asking so many stupid questions, but like people are like putting their arm around me a little bit and saying like, actually, this is why it needs to be like that, or this is what you need to do. And to the point where like Judith, who was a member of Pendle Forest, it's like showing me how to like use my compass and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like things I should know, but like it's just nice, like people taking you to one side and like just teaching you those things that maybe you should know, but perhaps if you're just a beginner, you obviously you don't. So I think having that support network, rather than just not being part of a club and doing everything individually and kind of not having any support around you, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. And just like if you're going down to, I don't know, like a club meet, which I don't do too often now, but when I did used to do it, like it gets you out of the door. Or if you organise to be part of a training group, like you've more chance of turning up than not, you know, if you're just doing it on your own kind of agenda, if that makes sense. So I think I would recommend anybody who is getting into running to join a local club for just even those reasons. Definitely.
On that, Gary? I mean, ultimately, I know you because of your Runstone group, and that was a really nice community. And I mean, for somebody that didn't really, I wouldn't say enjoy running, but I wasn't really into it, it did give me a purpose to get out, and it was nice hanging out with lots of different people on a weekly basis. Good
for sharing our podcast on there. You've got loads of people on there. Sorry, from a very selfish perspective. From my point.
I think it's interesting because I think now there's a bit of, and again, I'm probably a bit like Ben. I'm a little bit detached because I don't run my own group anymore. I haven't done for years, so I don't have that group interaction in that point of view. I'm not a member of a club, so I don't go to club meets and stuff like this. So it's but what I do coach 50 plus people, and a majority of them, I'd say, are members of clubs, even though they've got a coach. Yeah, so I think that's another podcast. I think I've coached some people recently where their coach didn't want them to go to club meets and stuff, whereas I'm the opposite. Yeah, I'd much rather them go to a club meet. But an interesting point is there seems to be a bit of a clash these days with what is a running club versus what is a run crew versus what is a, I don't know, just set up for a group of friends going for a run and how they go about it. Like Ben said, I think if you find the right one for you, there's no right or wrong answer like in terms of run clubs, because there's that many runners, there's that many different kinds of styles of club, isn't there?
Yeah.
From traditional clubs, which is set up by volunteers with a club night, and it's like
to like culture clubs,
exactly,
cool clubs,
yeah. Which and then that's even before you start talking about clubs that are set up by brands, which seem to be a bit of a juggernaut in terms of numbers and stuff, charging around streets of cities, which, is it all good? I don't know.
There's a lot of, I think as well, like unsung heroes in a lot of the clubs. Like there's even looking into now, there's a lot of people just doing a lot of the leg work and the donkey work, and they love it. They love the sport and they do it, but like they never take any praise for it. They just get on and do it. So like I volunteer myself tomorrow to help out with the race because I feel like I'm going there and not taking the piss, but I'm getting all the best bits out of the club experience. So I think you've got to put back in a little bit as well, haven't you? So,
and sometimes that's the odd time I've been challenged on that myself. Why don't I go to park run and things like this? But like outside of, like more recently, I've got more and more involved with particularly my daughter's football club. So I see a different sport and the volunteer setup there, and the amount of, like you say, the amount of time and effort and energy that has to go in volunteer-wise to running a football club kind of thing is the same as a running club, I imagine. And I'm doing that 2 or 3 times a week. So I almost get my fix of giving back that way.
Yeah. You're doing a good job with the football manager now.
It's like, plus you get to be a football coach, not just stand around with
real life football manager.
So in football, that's my most experience with volunteers in that level is seeing behind the scenes and being part of that and the unsung hero. So yeah, like Ben said, in most running clubs, like traditional running clubs, it's all volunteers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's a really good for the generally like set of people. Everyone's like into it for the right reasons, and you know these are your people essentially. So it's nice to like find.
And you do get the odd bad experience. I've had people that I coach in tears and wanting to leave clubs because they've been ostracised and things like that. So I'm not saying everything's always perfect in these things, but when you do get a group of people together, there's going to be. It's not always perfect, is it?
No, but generally,
it's you just need to find. It's same with anything. Find the right club for you. Whether that's a brand set up one where you're just going to run around and do it for content, or you're going to the local fell runners club and doing hill sessions.
And I think also you find your people within a club as well. So what I mean by that is if you're like a real beginner and you're nervous about going down and you think, oh God, I'm going to keep up with all these fast runners, for example, there'll be other people at that club who are your pace or maybe your sense of humour, and you end up getting these like little, not breakaways, but like you'll find like a little group of people within a group or a club that probably are more suited to like your standard of running, but also maybe like, you know, your humour or your, just interests basically.
Key message, join a club. Yeah. Looking back across all 40 plus 50 plus episodes by the time this has gone out, has any guest actually changed how you approach your own training or racing?
Nah.
Actually, are we just separately? Are we coming up to a year? We're coming up to a year, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean,
so
this will be about episode 50
oh my
50,
God.
yeah.
We need to do something, don't we, for the anniversary? Yeah, sorry.
I mean, it's very Christmas time, wasn't it? But
yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, if it hasn't for you two, so, I'll answer that one. I mean, it has for me. I mean, I wasn't running at all a year ago. Not even.
Is that because we've inspired you, Chris? Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting seeing what you guys do, and you know, obviously you took me out to Chamonix and stuff, and that was cool. But some of the guests have just really inspired me to just go out for a run. And I've got a little boy, and we've got another one on the way, and I'm 45 now, and I just want to make sure I'm fitter and healthier. And whilst I enjoy the biking, I feel like I can get more of a workout going out for an hour's run. So I feel like they've all inspired me in some way.
To be fair, like maybe Kay for me in terms of the orienteering, because she was the one who really got me into the sport. So it was kind of before the podcast, but we've had her on talking about it, and we've listened to stories of other people. We've listened to the podcast and then gone out and done orienteering. So probably that one for me, because I feel like now I've found a new sport and obviously buzzing about it. Just don't shut up about it, do I have to be honest? It's either that, Killian, or UTMB, or
still get the wrong airport though, don't you, Ben?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm still no good at it, but at least I'm having a go, I suppose. Yeah.
Gary?
No, mate.
If you could,
pretty well inspiring. It's just
nothing's changed. If you could pick one, okay. Well, this one might apply to you then, Gary. If you could pick one guest to coach you for a season, who would it be and why? And what would you most want to learn from it?
Probably Danny, Fish and Ice Cake.
Yeah.
I mean, he was ripped, right?
He's just really funny as well, wasn't he? Yeah.
Just enjoyed his company. I don't know if I could manage it like 24/7, like, but yeah.
Danny is a good answer. I might go for Hugh, because I reckon all me and Hugh would do is like just stay at really nice hotels and go out and eat. Like, he eats really nice food. Like, he's always like taking pictures of steaks and stuff. So I feel
which Hugh?
Hugh Williams. Yeah, I feel like Hugh could. I feel like we'd have a good time, me and Hugh. Like, I don't know how much running would get done, to be honest. I don't know how much my performance would improve. In fact, it probably wouldn't, would it? But I'm just going to give him a nod because he's a real character in it. So yeah.
What was the question? Who would I want to
If you could pick one guest to coach you for a season, who would it be and why? And what would you want to learn the most?
Actually, do you know what? Just jumping in there.
You always need two answers.
Yeah, I know I do. That's like I'm just keeping up the trend.
Sorry, it's all right. I need 10 minutes to think.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Hugh, but then I'm gonna have on the side of it Paul as my nutritionist. Not that I'd listen to him. I'd like him to tell me what to do, so I know what to do. But I'm not saying that I can promise I'd do it, if that makes sense, because me and Hugh would be too busy like staying in nice hotels, wouldn't we? Yeah. But actually, no, Paul, I think because that aspect of running is something I don't know enough about, and he'd probably be able to give me the most help. So yeah, I'm going to say Paul.
I'd go with probably Tierney for his voice notes and WhatsApp messages, which I know probably didn't come across as much on the podcast we had with him, but we're getting back on some time with so you can see the true Paul Tierney.
We just wanted more swearing off him, didn't we? I think he was just too serious.
Yeah.
He was too knowledgeable, and we wanted some more crack.
He's a foul-mouthed fucker, to be honest. But and I really think, in my heyday, it'd be Paul and Andy, just because I always I had a great coach, Martin, at the time, who was the right fit for me. I learned a lot, but I think those two got Paul for his pull for his knowledge and his foul mouth. And Andy, just because it's he like you say, sometimes you meet people that are so driven, and I used to like being coached by someone who is like, it's like, do this or don't do it. There's no, almost no flexibility. I don't want to speak for Andy in coaching terms, but if Andy was telling you to do it, or Paul, I'd go and do it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
Very good. I didn't want this to be all kind of very serious, because we are not always completely serious, are we? So I also asked
we can
ChatGPT,
make it not serious.
well, we're about to go not serious. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a few funny or light-hearted questions. So these don't need such a deep response. So bear with me. Who's more likely to get lost mid-race, Gary with a GPX or Ben with a paper map?
Definitely me, mate.
Talk about mental fuck-ups. I was winning a race once and took a wrong turn with 20 metres to go and finished second. Ran over a bridge and the finish line was straight ahead, and I turned left after the bridge.
Wounded.
And to be fair to me, it was dark, so head torches were on, and I saw this head torch like take a different direction. It was the guy that I just left on the mountain. I just ran into a bush basically and finished second. He was like, he thought he'd finished second until I ran up behind him. Yeah.
Gutted.
That was the difference between 35 quid and 20 quid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot, actually, isn't it? Yeah, that's a wound. I mean, I have a history as well of getting lost in races. I could give you many stories about it, but there is one that just popped into my head, and it was when I used to run cross country for a club called Stainland Lions, which is my original club, and I'm still a member of Stainland Lions. But I was the cross country captain, and we were doing a cross country in a place called Idle, which is really close to Bradford, and like in between Bradford and Leeds, near to where Sports Shoes is, actually, to be honest. And it was from the cricket club, and there's 2 cricket clubs in Idle, apparently, and I turned up. I was the only person to turn up at the wrong one, despite putting all the instructions out to the rest of the team. I turned up and it was like nobody there, and everyone had gone to this other one. So yeah, I mean, I turned up to the wrong place for my own kind of cross country. That I'd not organised a cross country, but I was organising the team. So
must be cricket clubs, because I think that ChatGPT thing must have pulled. I must have told the story about the cricket club with me.
Yeah, it must be. Let's
like
let's
the first time I used
club or a rugby club.
First time I used a GPX, I went off, and I'm making myself sound like I win a load of races. I'm going back some time now, but I was leading the race by that much. There was no one behind me in the first few miles, but it's the first time I'd used GPX. So you can see how long ago it was.
Yeah.
So I was just following the arrow, rather than following the fucking flags. So I follow this arrow for that back down a hill through this industrial estate, and I still couldn't see anyone, and I'd come back to the cricket club that we started, and the arrow was just north, so I'd just been following like I did this weird and I just quit. It was like a 42-mile ultra. Brilliant. I did 2 miles, was leading it, and then just did 2 miles back to the cricket club because I was following the arrow, and then just like, well, I'm not running it now.
I love that. I think we need an episode on getting lost, because I think we've got enough stories between us to probably do a bumper episode. And I'm just thinking it's a non-running related one, and she's not here, but I can tell it now because she's not here. But Kirsty once booked a trip and a hotel in I think it was in Dublin, and when she got there to check in, they had no record of this booking, and that's because she'd booked for the wrong year. She was a full year out, so she had booked it, but yeah, so needless to say, she totally fucked up there.
Throwing Kirsten to the bus there. What's that got to do with you having?
I'm trying to take the pressure off me. Yeah.
Just because Kirsty's out in Portugal, right?
Well, she's not here, is she? So I can do it.
Right. Which past guest would you least like to share a tent with on a multi-day race, and why?
God. Are you going to go first, Gary? I'm trying to think of all our guests that we've had. Probably Paul Moore, only because I don't think I get much sleep. I think he would just be up all night, probably talk. We'd just be talking all night, I think, and I'd probably be knackered. So that's the only reason. I really like Paul. I really like him. So I think for that reason that I probably wouldn't get much sleep, because we'd just be chatting shit all night. Yeah. Gary's cogs are whirring, thinking, have we had on?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'll choose Nigel. He's too fucking big, man. He's like 6'5".
1 man tent, Nigel.
Yeah. I'm not sharing a tent with him.
Keep you warm though, couldn't it?
Good answer.
He's another one that wouldn't sleep either. Yeah.
Right, if we made a RUNcensored Awards night, I mean, these are meant to be joke questions, but I'd be quite up for that actually. If we made a RUNcensored Award night, who wins best rant? I mean, obviously.
I'd have to.
I mean, that was Paul Moore, right? I mean, he just ranted
probably.
for we had 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Paul would.
Guess. Okay,
Yeah. Which guest, sorry, wins best rant?
Yeah.
I thought you meant, sorry, which. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe me just going on about polls all the time. Although that has become a thing now that I'm not actually that bothered about. I have got polls, so
trying to detach yourself from that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to shake it off because.
Next one then. Who wins the funniest story? We have had some funny stories on this.
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, we've had a lot, haven't we? Actually, yeah.
Well, I like laughing at Ben's because it's like if I haven't heard the cow story or something, it's good, isn't it? Whereas like,
I mean that wins it for me. It's Ben and his cow story.
But I'm gonna just say Danny Andrews, Lakewood Trails. I'm gonna give it him because that was fucking brilliant, wasn't it?
I haven't laughed so hard.
Yeah, that really got us.
We were all in tears at that. Turning, what
so
was it? He turned up for a race. You tell it better than me.
Yeah, he turned up for Lakeland Trails in his Alpha Flies and
full fit check.
And this is his word, so we're not doing him here. But yeah, he's doing his full fit check. Ran off, didn't he? And he was
leading the race for the first 50 meters. Yeah.
And I just love that quote of him. He was like, "It was hill and another hill and another hill." Like, it was just like,
he got beat by a load of 70-year-olds.
Yeah, that story is fantastic.
Fun win moment. That one.
And then finally, the most unexpected guest moment. I think I've got one here actually.
Do you know what I will say is that I remember the night before we did the Nigel episode, and we were talking, weren't we, on our kind of WhatsApp group. I'm sure Nigel won't listen to this, so he won't mind me saying, and we were like,
I wasn't. It wasn't any house to sell. Who's coming? Was it?
Well, that was it. Yeah, it was like we had this conversation. This was about 9 o'clock at night, and then I was travelling down first thing in the morning to Wales to film, and we hadn't got a guest on at that point. And I was like, "Oh, Gary, surely you can pull somebody on this podcast who lives close by." And 5 minutes later, you sent a message saying, "I've got us a guest." I was like, fucking brilliant. I was like, who is it? And you went, well, it's a guy who used to coach. He's in his, I don't know what, 50s. He just lives down the road and is a driving instructor. And I was like, sounds great, mate. Can't wait. And I was driving down thinking, this is going to be shit. This is going to be shit. And then got there, came in, had a little bit of a chat, sat down, and immediately when we started the podcast, I thought, this is gold. This
Within
guy's
5
brilliant.
minutes of meeting Nigel.
Honestly, he totally changed my perception. And I just
hi, boss.
Yeah.
You sold it, aren't you?
I was completely sold. He started taking the piss out of me about my van, and so I think Nigel, and also I was really interested in what he was saying as well. So not only was he funny, and not only was he interesting, I just thought he was one of the best guests we've had. So I think,
shout out Nigel. Selfishly, I'm gonna choose the injury one with Ben. So then there wasn't a guest, but it was like a personal therapy session. It ended up being.
That's your injury where
I was injured and me and Ben were going to
injury.
cover it, and then it ended up being a big
spiraled into a different episode, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
quite early on that was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
It was also the moment where me and Chris looked at each other and we thought we should really have known how serious this injury was. I was like, just run it off, Gary.
Probably shouldn't have taken the piss out of him so much.
Yeah. And I remember there was a moment about halfway through, and I thought, shit, I've really not given Gary enough. I don't know.
No, but I'd not been as forthcoming either. So I think that was the first time I really talked it through from start to finish, and only because you lot let me do it. I went after that. I think that changed the perception of one, the injury, and two, I can get on with it now, and three, it was actually, and it made me realise actually it was quite serious. I mean, it still is serious, but because you're taking day by day, it just ends up being further down the line. It's like.
Similarly as well, in a few of the episodes, and the Ted Mason one, for example, when he won Kilnty Fell Race, and then he mentioned in the podcast for about 2 weeks afterwards, he'd wake up in the middle of the night and he'd just cry because he was so happy about winning it. And for someone like Ted to say that, how much it meant to him, that was a bit wow. And in a really good way. Do you know what I mean? I was really taken aback, but I really liked him when he said that. And then Tom Addison mentioned it's not obviously it's not a happy thing, but he'd been through a lot, as Tom Addison.
Well, Tom was mine,
and I did realise that he'd gone through a bad patch, but I don't think I really appreciated just how bad it was. Like a bit like your injury, Gary.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is usually the guests link to either of you, and you probably know what they're going to mostly talk about.
Yeah.
But I remember you coming out, and we have a bit of a debrief afterwards, anyway, don't we? But you came out of the Tom one, and Tom disclosed about his panic attacks.
Yeah,
and
he was really bad.
And we chatted with him afterwards, and he actually said he didn't realise he was going to talk about it, but he was very happy to talk about it. And I actually thought it was very useful for a lot of people. And for me, that was my most, I think with all of us, we just didn't see it coming.
Yeah. And I'm good mates with Tom. I've known him a long time. We've raced together. We've raced against each other, and we've got the same circle of friends. And like a lot of our mutual friends had messaged me and said, shit, I've just listened to that Tom episode. I didn't realise like how bad he was in that moment. And we all knew that like he'd got things going on, but I don't think I'd fully appreciated it. And I suppose in a similar way to like we had Jacob Tonkin on the other week, and he went through a really bad patch, didn't he, when he first got his dog George? Like, you know, he had Crohn's disease, and he was suffering as well. So like, I don't think I realised how sort of bad he was as well.
The thing is, the podcast's good because all right, sometimes we might miss out on guests or being as current as we could be because of location, basically, and wanting to do it in person. But at the same time, a lot of these stories wouldn't have happened if we did this on Zoom.
No, definitely. I think
Ted
you lose
wouldn't
that,
be as forthcoming. Tom
touch.
wouldn't be as forthcoming because you don't often get a chance to sit down for an hour with, whether it's friends or whether it's someone that you're just chatting to.
Yeah.
Because you meet up and everyone's so busy, or you might go to a pub after something, but you're not going to have that kind of conversation there. It's quite short.
You're right.
Yeah, some of those conversations are really good.
It's more of a personal connection, isn't it?
And again, like I knew Mel's story kind of, but until you get to spend time with someone, but it's only an hour, and it's not like you're spending hours and hours, but you get more of the background, and people have been really good, I think, coming on.
Definitely. Mel's story is like really shocking as well, isn't it? If you heard that for the first time, which you guys will have done,
you'd be forgiven to
like,
think,
wow,
sorry mate, it's like we haven't chosen these people for these amazing stories that are coming out, really, have we?
No.
Like some people we know have got a bit of a story, and like Jacob, it was like, I know he's got this story, but you don't really want to dig too deep because he said it all, and there's the movie and all that kind of thing. It's more, sometimes it just happens like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think the way that we plan the podcast, as in we don't plan it, is actually quite a good thing, because the conversation takes all kinds of different directions, which is part of what we want to do, that and the fact we ain't got time to plan it
because then when you get boring fucker on as well, it doesn't matter because you're not expecting a big story to come out.
Exactly.
If you had to swap lives with one of our guests, and this is the funny bit, don't forget, if you had to swap lives with one of our guests for a week, who would you choose, and what's the first thing you'd do?
Fucking hell, a bit deep, these questions.
I know, it is a bit deep. I'll go first. I know I wasn't supposed to be in this. I'd go with Mel Sykes, only because I didn't know Mel before we started doing this, and I follow her on Instagram, and she just seemed to have a great life. And what's the first thing I'd do? Just go and run really fast up a hill, because that's what she seems to do whenever she feels like it.
Yeah, she's great, is Mel, isn't she? She's really good. Oh God, who would you swap with? I'm just trying to think.
I want to see you in Danny Andrews' body.
Actually,
your head on his body.
I'd like to.
You're speaking out loud there.
Yeah. Is this a sexual thing, Chris?
No, just your head on him would look really funny.
Boat, mate, honestly.
We can sort that out with AI.
AI will sort that out. I mean, actually, there's probably a good answer, because, like, I think I'd like to spend a little bit of time in Danny's world, because honestly, he was one of the standout guests for me as well. Him and Nigel were the two. I mean, Gary brought the two guests on, and those two for me were two of the best, because I knew Danny obviously from that original viral video, but he's such a nice guy and he's such a character, as is Nigel as well. So I think just because the personalities, maybe one of those two, probably Danny. Yeah,
I'll go probably peak Tom, and just be like peak fell runner for a week.
Yeah,
going into one of the champs and stuff as Tom.
Yeah.
Because I was never at that level, so just experience that. Yeah.
Right, back to a couple of proper questions to kind of get towards the end of this pod then. Some feedback from one of our recent pods. I saw this comment, so I thought I'd ask you guys. Love the content from UTMB week, lads. Any plans to do this at any other events or take RUNcensored on the road?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I think what we did at UTMB, it was nice. It's always nice when me and Gary get to spend some time together, which we've done at various points where we've been at events, and when we are together, we're always bouncing ideas out, mate. I mean, UTMB, perfect example. All that content that we put out there was not pre-planned. We just kind of reactive, weren't we? But I do think we kind of showed that can be done at events, and there's always something that happens. Like, for example, the Tom Evans drinking out of the shoe, that was just gold, wasn't it? I mean, thanks Tom for that, because that was brilliant. Just stuff like that. But there's so much going on in trail now. There's so many, like we mentioned this in a previous episode. There's so many stories now in just trail running, but running in general, that I think to create content and be at these kind of events, it's interesting enough now to kind of, create some funny anecdotes off the back of it, which we would do, definitely. So I think we are going to probably get out to more events together. We're going to be at Kenton Mountain Festival together anyway, working. And yeah, I mean, we're open to offers as well. That we go. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And also, it's not limited to events, I don't think, because it's like events are like Chris has had a little glimpse and stuff, and the majority of an event is quite boring. Like UTMB is a bit of an outlier in terms of it's so intense and there's always something going on. Most races, there's like everyone registers and then fucks off, and then everyone gets to the start line and then they fuck off, and then everyone finishes and you might hang around. But in the in-between bits, so it's almost, I always think it's like there's lots of interesting stuff, almost like with groups and stuff outside of events as well. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I think the comment probably also includes the fact that we did 2 podcasts from UTMB as well, and in a technical point of view, we're shooting in your front room today, we shoot in my front room sometimes. We have a fairly mobile setup, so if it was there, we could definitely take podcasts to places or whatever. So
that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? Definitely, that would be the dream, because then as well you can almost cover it in as much real time as possible, couldn't you? I'd like to do something in real time, like at an event, and do it, like get it out there and then, really. Yeah. So it's really reactive. I mean, we're limited as to what we can do now, aren't we? Because obviously got to film it. Chris has got to spend a lot of time editing it. But it'd be cool to do something a bit more reactive.
Yeah.
Another technical one then. This is the last one on my list, unless you guys have got anything. If I want to crew my husband around CCC next year, is it easy enough to follow the race?
We've had first-hand experience in like supporting a lot of athletes in different races, not just UTMB, and depending on the event, the size of the event, the location of the event, it's easy. Some are easier than others. So like this year, for example, TDS, which is one of the UTMB races, we filmed a documentary through Sport Shoes, but we followed the journey of a runner, a guy called Darren, who I'm good friends with, Darren Agnew, and it was easier getting around that route than it was, say, the UTMB, which we also followed, and you followed around as well, Chris. And I think that's a much more laid-back event. And I think CCC is slightly more it's definitely more laid back than UTMB. So I'm not saying it's easy, but what you have to consider is the fact that you're not going to get much sleep, and you are going to cross borders into different countries, so it's expensive, and you've got to think about where you're going to park, and you've got to think about timings, like logistically.
And it depends if you're talking, are you following the race to be crewing, or are you following the race just to be a supporter? Yeah, because that's 2 different things as well.
That is true.
Yeah, she mentions crewing in the post.
Yeah. If you're crewing, then you've either got to research it, take advice, because it can be very stressful in terms of getting around, never mind all the other logistics.
Because you look at like that plea that Andy made for the poles, and the fact that we had to then get back to Chamonix to get the poles from my apartment, to run to the other side of Chamonix to give the poles to somebody who was crewing Andy, and then this was the UTMB, but they were on a supporter bus that was taking it, like we made it by seconds, didn't we, Gary? So
I was going to say, if you haven't listened to it already, I think it's the first UTMB podcast that we did that Andy Berry's on, and he talked quite a lot of detail because his wife followed the rule of the letter, wasn't it? And took the buses and didn't take her own car, and it was a real challenge for her to get around.
I think when you're not in your own vehicle as well, which most people won't be, you'll be on a sport bus, you're kind of at the mercy of their time schedule. So you might be waiting for a bus, or the bus might get stuck in traffic. But
I think they were told because he didn't have a certain ranking that she wasn't allowed to take her car. She had to use the buses or something. So it'd be worth checking that out.
That's true, yeah. It's a bit of a minefield, but it's definitely easier than the UTMB. But I think, like most of these things,
not far off it, because by the time the majority of people are on that C course, they're also into UTMB as well.
And a lot of these areas to actually watch are quite remote as well. Even with TDS, it was like there wasn't a problem kind of like getting onto the course when you were there, but it's a lot of driving, and like to run places out there sometimes is a lot quicker than driving around, because you're driving around different valleys and, like I said, through different countries. So yeah, I mean, my advice would be to try and find somebody who's...
Tell them to be self-sufficient and watch it in the pub in Chamonix.
Just give them an extra jacket.
There's lots of screens in Chamonix where it's playing.
yeah.
Dot watching.
Yeah. But maybe ask somebody who's done it before and see what they think as well. Because
or even it's worth thinking about. I had this with one of my lot. It's like, can they be self-sufficient for the first half of the race maybe, and you just join it? Because it does get a bit easier, I think, definitely coming towards Chamonix again.
Yeah.
So you haven't got that pressure, because like, if you're in the CCC or if you're in UTMB, you should be able to look after yourself for a good 12 hours or something plus, I think, and be self-sufficient. I mean, I'm not saying everyone has to be, and lots of these people are running it without crew, so it's something to think about. If it's your first time, maybe just commit to crewing the back half or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely, and that back half as well is probably when they'll need the most support, isn't it?
Exactly, and you've got more time. You've got, like, the buses seem to be a little bit more available because everyone's just a bit more spread out, and it's a time of, like, if you're talking all day on that. If you're talking the Saturday, like, there's lots of support points, so a bit more easily accessible, a bit closer to Chamonix on the way in. Yeah. Good
stuff. Is that all the questions, Chris? Excellent. So that's the first time we've used ChatGPT for ChatGPT. Wow.
Yeah, I think he did a reasonable job there.
Not bad. We'll still take questions. Not bad.
Yeah. We'll do more on it next. I mean, I was scrambling to find some of the questions, but it's not a bad thing. But the Instagram's gone get quite a lot of messages on that. So finding the questions is. It's quite hard. If you want to send a question, I guess email's the best, and then we'll check that once every 6 months.
We'll do some more competitions when we cast, like, sending prizes out.
YouTube comments are usually all right, aren't they? Because there's not as many. But
That's true. But no, thanks for listening, and we'll be. Well, I mean, this is going to be. Going out in a few weeks' time, isn't it? So it's difficult to talk about current things on this episode. So it's good to have general questions. Go on.
And it'll be fine, because it won't be a spoiler, because it will have finished by the time this goes out. Who's going to win the Traitors?
Celebrity Traitors. We've all been watching it. I think, and we're down to the final now. So is it on tonight? Or is it next week now?
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday now. So down to the final. There's 5 people left. I think they're on to Alan and what's the girl called? Abby? Is it Abby?
Kat.
Yeah,
they'll get rid of. It's been insane how they didn't get rid of people earlier.
Joe for the win.
I think what'll happen is they'll get rid of the traitors. I mean, Alan couldn't be more of a traitor if he tried now. They'll get rid of Alan, they'll get rid of Kat, and then I also think they'll get rid of that David.
Yeah, I do.
Because even if it's 50-50, or even if you're 90% sure, you may as well get rid of him.
Yeah.
And they'll leave it, and I think them two will split it.
Yeah.
I know it's charity, but it'll be Joe and
Nick.
That's
how it'll play. No, I reckon. Yeah. So that's a prediction. Probably be totally
wrong. By the time this podcast goes out, let's see who got this right.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
By the time this comes out, someone will have won the jungle or something.
Yeah.
And Caleb will be back from Australia.
That's why we've shot this one early, because one of us is off to the jungle. And
the other is off to do some dancing. That's already going, isn't it? No, I don't know. I'm a couple of episodes behind because I got up here late last night, so I didn't get to watch with you. So I need to catch up.
Oh shit, sorry, Chris.
So I'm guessing I'm guessing that somebody's gone out that I thought was going to go out anyway. But yeah, there we go. Over to you for wrap up, mate.
Nice one. Without further ado, we'll see you next Tuesday.